Welcome everyone to Young at Heart, session number 181E, as in eternity, or my brother Edward. I'm Father James DeLucio. We're continuing with the Thanksgiving Visitor in short segments, so you could watch this at your leisure. They're about 10 or 11 minutes. So I'm doing this to be kind to you and recognize your busy schedules. And so you can watch them all in a group, or a little bit today, a little bit tomorrow, on to Friday, where I'll actually have something a little more Advent related. But remember, we left off. Our narrator has accused Odd Henderson of stealing, and Mr. Uncle B has insisted that Miss Sook go and look to see if, in fact, her brooch is missing. It was not often that my friend disobeyed her brother, and she did not now. But her pallor, the mortified angle of her shoulders, revealed with what distaste she accepted her errand. She was gone only a minute, but her absence seemed an aeon. Hostility sprouted and surged around the table like a thorn-encrusted vine growing with uncanny speed, and the victim, trapped in its tendrils, was not the accused, but the accuser. Stomach sickness gripped me. Odd, on the other hand, seemed calm as a corpse. Miss Sook returned, smiling. "Shame on you, buddy," she chided, shaking a finger. "Playing that kind of joke. My cameo was exactly where I left it." Uncle B said, "Buddy, I want to hear you apologize to our guest." "No, he don't have to do that," Odd Henderson said, rising. He was telling the truth. He dug into his pocket and put the cameo on the table. "I wish I had some excuse to give, but I ain't got none." Starting for the door, he said, "You must be a special lady, Miss Sook, to fib for me like that." And then, damn his soul, he walked right out of there. So did I, except I ran. I pushed back my chair, knocking it over. The crash triggered Queenie. She scooted from under the table, barked, and bared her teeth. And Miss Sook, as I went past her, tried to stop me. "Buddy!" But I wanted no part of her or Queenie. That dog had snarled at me, and my friend had taken Odd Henderson's side. She lied to save his skin, betrayed our friendship, my love. Things I thought could never happen. Simpson's pasture lay beyond the house, a meadow brilliant with high November gold and russet grass. At the edge of the pasture there were a gray barn, a pig corral, a fenced-in chicken yard, and a smokehouse. It was the smokehouse I slipped into. A black chamber, cool on even the hottest summer days. If I had a dirt floor and a smoke pit that smelled of hickory cinders and creosote, I'll have to look that up. Rows of hams hung from rafters. It was a place I'd always been wary of, but now its darkness seemed sheltering. I fell on the ground, my ribs heaving like the gills of a beach-stranded fish, and I didn't care that I was demolishing my one nice suit, the one with long trousers, by thrashing about on the floor in a messy mixture of earth and ashes and pork grease. One thing I knew. I was going to quit that house, that town, that night, hit the road, hop a freight, and head for California. Make my living shining shoes in Hollywood. Fred Astaire shoes. Clark Gables. Or maybe I just might become a movie star myself. Look at Jackie Cooper. Oh, they'd be sorry then, when I was rich and famous and refused to answer their letters and even telegrams. Probably. Suddenly, I thought of something that would make them even sorrier. The door to the shed was ajar, and a knife of sunshine exposed a shelf supporting several bottles, dusty bottles, with skull and crossbone labels. If I drank from one of those, then all of them up there in the dining room, the whole swilling and gobbling caboodle, would know what sorry was. It was worth it, if only to witness Uncle B's remorse when they found me cold and stiff on the smokehouse floor. Worth it to hear the human wails and Queenie's howls as my coffin was lowered into the cemetery depths. The only hitch was I wouldn't actually be able to see or hear any of this. How could I? I'd be dead. And unless one can observe the guilt and regret of the mourners, surely there is nothing satisfactory about being dead. Uncle B must have forbidden Miss Soup to go look for me until the last guest had left the table. It was late afternoon before I heard her voice floating across the pasture. She called my name softly, forlornly as a mourning dove. I stayed where I was and did not answer. It was Queenie who found me. She came sniffing around the smokehouse and yapped when she caught my scent, then entered and crawled toward me and licked my hand, an ear, and a cheek. She knew she had treated me badly. Presently, the door swung open and the light widened. My friend said, "Come here, buddy." And I wanted to go to her. When she saw me, she laughed. "Goodness, boy, you look dipped in tar and all ready for feathering." But there were no recriminations or references to my ruined suit. Queenie trotted over to pester some cows, and trailing after her into the pasture, we sat down on a tree stump. "I saved you a drumstick," she said, handing me a parcel wrapped in waxed paper. "And your favorite piece of turkey, the pulley." All right, our short session has concluded. Tune in again for Young at Heart, session number 181F, as in frigid, freezing, Frankfurter. Thanks for joining me. Bye now. God bless.